Shamans, we understand cause we are the tech shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome, yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Cool.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday morning.
Happy
it ain't
Monday
no such
morning.
thing as a happy Monday morning. As a matter of fact, Adam, I'm going to make fun of him today. I'll probably be 5 minutes behind. Okay, this is funny. Wait a minute, I can't even type. We will make fun of you until you get here. Awesome. Anyway, so welcome to Tech Shamans this morning. Data breaches, man.
Like crazy right now.
Oh my God. Okay, so Adam's on his way. We're just going to make fun of him. I think that middle camera's too bright, too. That's just
here's
me.
Adam right here.
There's Adam. Yeah, it's
He's nice and soft today.
Kylo Ren's taking his place until he gets here. Data breaches.
Like crazy.
Oh my God! Now Capital One. I think Capital One's is the what's in the news now is that Capital One is backing from the last one they had, and then Facebook again, which is absolutely redonkulous.
Capital One's that one's going to be fun because they actually breached in and they actually got your social security numbers and everything. So
then you have the whole Equifax, and it's just, oh my God.
Did you take your $125
Nope.
settlement?
Nope.
Because you're not going to be able to sue them, but you can get like 15 years of credit watch.
So
they're going to tell you when they do it again.
Let me explain to you how I feel about that. It's like you have chickens, right? You have a big old hen house, and you're trying to keep the wolf out, but you hire the wolf to watch the chickens. So they're going to monitor themselves, and who they're actually illegally selling your information anyway.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? I think I said that right.
Well,
oh my,
we're the only country. Yep, that's $1.
it's $1.
I actually turned mine off today, so
Did
I
you
can't
really?
get in
I'm
trouble.
very proud of you.
It's the first time ever. The sad thing is we're the only country that starts you out with bad credit and expect you to fail.
Right.
You go to Australia, you go to England, you go India, anywhere else in the world, right, to buy. You could basically, you get a perfect score, and it's for you to lose. And the interest rates and everything, you start out better in life because you're not paying these high interest rates to get past that curve, to get to the good credit, right?
Right.
Or to the good interest
Right.
rates, which isn't fair in all actuality. But, me and my wife have this thing where if we don't have credit, that's okay with us because if we're not paying cash for it, we're not going to buy it anyways. So, it's, to each their own. We're not an economic show or a financial advice show, but if I can't pay for it in cash, I don't want it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Well,
that's how I look at it.
you got to have credit though. Nope. If you don't have credit, you can't buy a house. You can't buy a car. You're going to go out and spend $250,000. You're that rich?
I'm not going to talk about my money.
Well, that's what I thought.
Too many three-letter agencies are watching us.
Son, they've been watching it. They've been watching you from year.
I know, but no. No, but honestly, I have a different approach to what I think I've
Oh my
learned
God!
a long
Please don't,
time
God,
ago.
don't tell me you
don't.
follow the Dave Ramsey bull crap.
I like Dave Ramsey's
He's
stuff,
an idiot.
but it's very hard for the
He's an idiot.
the people that are in everyday life can't do it because they haven't been structured to do that since they were small.
Dave Ramsey's an idiot.
No.
Yeah, he is.
No, because I mean, honestly, if you think about it, if everything's paid for and paid in cash, you have no stress. You know, the wheel comes off the truck, right? Well, guess what? You don't have to worry about losing your house. You don't have to worry about losing everything that you own.
But
because
that's
it's
not
already
okay.
paid
First
for.
of all, let's call it what it is. That's not Dave Ramsey. That's just good house bookkeeping.
Yes.
That's called having a financial plan. That's not Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey is teaching you stuff that you can be taught in the right high schools and the right colleges and the preschools. I'm just saying
If they
right
would
now.
teach it.
Well, some schools do teach it. My son took a class on how to put together a budget at Tarpon Springs High School. So they do teach it. That is poison. They throw back to scare everybody. Oh, you are. They say that so it makes you feel better for paying their outrageous amount of money to learn how to put a budget together. Folks, do you know you can go to the library, every library across the country, and take a class in there because they all have classes on how to put their budget together correctly.
Yeah.
So don't pay money, these yahoos. They're fear-mongering, and I hate that. I hate everybody that gets up there and fear-mongers you. And he
But
fear-mongers you.
just because Dave Ramsey says it doesn't mean that it's not.
Oh, it's not just
a
Dave
true
Ramsey I'm
way to
picking
do
on
it.
him.
I know, but
I'm picking on all of them.
But I do believe that, you know, and I've been a bad example of it for many of years, and I just don't believe that I need credit to be successful or to get to the next level.
It's not that you need that, but see, that's not it. That's not why you need credit. That's the wrong way to look at credit. Credit is the ability to, whether you like it or not, you have to have credit. You have to have it because you can't buy a house unless you're uber rich. And if you're uber rich, who cares? You shouldn't be sitting here on that couch if you're uber rich. I'm just telling you right now. If you're uber rich, you need to get off the show because you need it to buy a house. You need to buy a good car that you're not putting money into every other month because it's breaking down on you. You need it to now you need it for good insurance, car, home, whatever. You got to have good. You have to have good credit, or you'll pay outrageous, stupid prices. I mean, if you just want to pay out the nose for everything in your whole life, okay, yeah, don't worry about your credit. But credit's important today, and all these people that fearmonger you, oh, it's not important. They're idiots.
Yeah.
They're flat out idiots because we've made a society, and you're right, we have been set up to fail from the get-go. It used to be, oh, my mic come off. It used to be you started off at an 800. Everybody started off high.
That was before I was born. That was a long time ago.
But now they start you off as zero credit, so you're a 500 until you get. It's amazing. People don't judge each other by the color of your skin. Well, they do, but not really. But but your background, your money. They judge you by your credit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crap.
Not, to me, that doesn't. Your credit doesn't make who you are.
But it doesn't. But you have to maintain it.
Yeah, but I don't focus on my credit. I'll be the first one to tell you. I don't care about my credit. I don't, because the way that we do it is we buy. You know what I mean? If we're going to buy it, we buy it in cash.
And totally understand that. Totally understand that. But today, people like Dave Ramsey, and I'm not just picking on Dave Ramsey. He's just the name that comes off the top of my head because
You see who's trying to sneak in on set, right?
Come on,
Mr.
Adam.
Lake,
just
come
walk
on
in, buddy.
Just go ahead and walk across our shot.
I'm here. Guess who? I showed up.
Go ahead and move your pillow guy
That's
there.
okay.
Oh, no.
He just
And he
squished
comes
it.
in with no laptop, no
Nope.
iPad, nothing.
Nope.
Oh, he's got his phone.
Technology.
He's a tech guy. So credit is important. But I mean, look at this. You had a Capital One breach, right? You had Equifax breach. You had Target got hit.
Yeah.
I mean, all these places are just getting hit. So being our tech guy, Home Depot got hit.
Yeah.
Why can't they lock this down?
Just the mix of the old technology and the new, the way the portals for the credit card processors work, and the IT department's not being able to be allowed the budget to migrate everything over to the new systems in a timely fashion. just the way technology works. You know, you have differences in communication protocols on the
Right.
internet and stuff. You know, you have older technology that can't communicate with the higher encryption standards that are needed today, and so there's where you get bottlenecks, you know, and they have to kind of improvise. Look at how long they took just to implement the chip cards. You know, how many different companies, you know, oh, I'm sorry, it's not on yet, you know, even though the time passed, you know, we have to swipe.
Right.
Even though they have everything there, their systems, their point of sale systems just weren't up to
So
snuff.
wouldn't it be cheaper in the long run, the long game, not the short game, the long game? Wouldn't it be just cheaper to do the update, boom, done. Get rid of the old, put the new in, because look what it's cost. Okay, so it cost Equifax or Capital One. Actually, let's go to Equifax, $650 million, and
That's a drop in the
growing.
buck. That's a drop in the bucket to them. They
Yeah,
don't care.
think about it. Think about it, though.
That's nothing.
And they're not supposed to be making money off of us.
No.
They're strictly supposed to be a credit reporting bureau.
Right.
But
Well, if
instead,
you've
they
ever
make
noticed,
money on the.
Equifax is actually a bunch of subsidiaries.
Mm-hmm.
So that the actual credit side, right, does not own the credit repair and the credit monitoring and all that. They're
but
subsidiaries.
My point is, you just made my point.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
They shouldn't have. That's like again
Let's
hiring the
call it what it
wolf,
is.
the wolf or the coyote to watch the chicken pens, right?
Right.
So why are they selling those services when all their money, all their time, should be put into protecting our credit and our
Because-
information, not
because
selling it like
one-
they do.
Correct.
Because one, you got to go back to the main part of it. The whole system is archaic.
Yeah, it's flawed.
So it needs a full overhaul from the top down. The way that they monitor,
We're the only
way that
country
they do,
that
the way
does
they
this.
do the credit reporting, the way that they intake the data, the way they dispel the data, and who they share it with. Honestly, Equifax, TransUnion, and what's the other big boy? Experian.
Experian, yeah.
yeah.
Should not be giving data to all these other companies.
No, they shouldn't.
They should only be giving it to credit providers, and that's
Correct.
it. Not to every willing. That's how. So you build an API so all these guys can get into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why can't the criminals get that?
They do.
Exactly.
Well, that's what's
so
happening.
you have, and then the whole credit system itself needs an overhaul, and the way that they calculate and everything.
Yeah.
Because it's bullshit to begin with.
Well,
so
no one knows how they calculate.
nobody's going
Nobody
to.
knows how. It's a closed secret.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
And all
we'll
three,
believe that.
all three are different on
So-
how they calculate.
Here's
But they all came up with the same number, or close to it.
something.
Well, it's the same formula.
If you
basically.
believe that, I got some swamp land.
So
I'll say
what was that what was that company that just came out of Canada?
Which one?
There was was it Capital One or
Capital One is they just
came out-
got a data breach.
They just came out of Canada. If I'm not mistaken, it was them. One of the companies just came out of Canada. Okay, they're closing down their credit card processing services, their credit card services in Canada, and this won't never happen in the United States. But what they did was they bankrupt that whole section and said, "We've just wiped all your credit card debt free." They didn't pass it on. Nobody else bought that debt. Nobody's enforcing that debt anywhere. They just gave everybody who had a card in that country a free ride. That would never happen here.
Yeah, but that's because we're the capital for credit cards. You know what I mean?
Right, of course.
You would definitely bankrupt.
Somebody's
a company.
going to make money off the money
Yeah.
that wasn't made.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Do I like our credit system? No, but it's used. Say we're pretty much the only other company other than Japan has not like ours. Japan has one. United Kingdom has something. The Netherlands has something, but most of these people are Spain. So most of these are countries with a way to deal with other than they don't do it like our system does. They look at your whole back. Stop asking me that. I don't want to see boobies. Not right now, at least. Australia has one. China has, but see, these are all socialist. They're not a republic
Hold on,
like
wait a minute.
ours.
Did you just say socialist?
Yes, I did.
Socialism? Socialism?
Yes, I did. Because our system works. We rate our credit system based off how we pay our bills. If you don't pay your bills, then you have bad credit. Now Japan has one that says they don't have an official credit scoring, but they use they look at your family history, which is really weird.
Wow. I guess they feel that
the UK has finally picked up something similar to ours, but it's from 0 to 700. 466 to 700 is ideal. So you start in United Kingdom, you start with a big fat goose egg. Right? And then the Netherlands, let's see how they do theirs. You just wind up with marks. So if you pay your bills, you're good. If you're a good person, you're good. If you make good money, you're good.
stars and check marks.
Yeah.
Happy faces. And
So
sad
Canada's
faces.
credit system is the most like the U.S.'s.
Oh.
So
They got the best deal.
Spain, well, Spain's so messed up. And in Spain, it's just based on the person. The banks take whether they figure whether they'll take the loan or not. When Brazil doesn't have an economy right now, does it?
You look like a good guy. I'll give you $100,000.
Yeah, you're all right.
Well, okay, so John gets in a car accident, can't go to work for 3 months.
Right.
John takes up his reserves. Has to fall back by a month or two just so he can survive and feed his family.
John's not working.
So
very much.
John
It's not the
gets back,
government's
caught
fault
back up.
that the person either hit me, didn't know how to drive.
It's not the government's fault, but it's not also, no one's asking the government to pay you.
That's right.
We're asking for your credit score not to be dinged up to the point that you can't repair
and you
it
know,
for
if
6
you,
or 7 years.
if you inform the credit bureaus that this is happening, they take that into consideration.
I've never heard that.
But they don't make it easy to.
They don't make it easy. You know why you've never heard it? Because it's not talked about. Because Dave Ramsey would rather you get scared shitless and have all this no credit crap and all this money banked up, and you burn through that. Either way, you're burning through your money. So,
Oh yeah, but if let's say you fall back for 3 months, right? You fell behind, but then you go back into doing good. You're punished for 7 years.
No, you're not.
Well,
No, you're not.
you
You know,
I
you
mean,
can
you're dinged
actually.
for a
I'm
while.
telling you,
You can ask for it.
we have credit people that come on at my wife's show, and we actually know a couple other. If you write those letters, or you even call them and say this is what happened, they take that to consideration.
Who are you writing to?
To the credit bureaus themselves.
Yeah.
But if you have a credit card, okay, so this is the difference between people that understand finance and understand credit, right? Both of my car loans have an emergency insurance on them. So if I get hurt, which I did when I was younger, I got hurt. They paid that payment until I could start working. So my credit cards have the insurance. If I get hurt, they're paid. My mortgage insurance has the insurance that if I get hurt, they get paid. So the difference between the people that are just don't like to pay their bills, they have the credit cards that don't have the insurance. They're doing the buy here, pay here, which means that guess what? If you pay, they're not telling anybody you pay, but the minute you don't pay, they're going to report you because they can. You don't own a house, probably. You're renting, right? Or you own a house, but man, you got into that by the skin of your teeth, and you have absolutely you probably don't have the extra insurance. That's what happens. That's where people get in trouble, is they don't take that. We have a show called 62 Who Knew, right? Now that show on this station, that show is about what happens when you retire after 62 years old. But they also have long-term insurance people, the specialty insurance people, and the first thing that those guys will tell you is if you have a car loan, if you have credit cards, or if you have a house, you need that insurance. If you go down, you're covered. Your credit doesn't get dinged. And there's companies out there like Aflac and people like that if you take that, they will, if you don't have those specialty insurance, those insurance are there to help you pay the extra bills that your normal insurance doesn't buy. We don't have Aflac. We have a version of Aflac through Allstate. So if I get hurt, my bills are going to get paid. My car's not going to get repossessed. My credit card's not going to go down. It's not going to get dinged. But that all comes with going and getting educated about how to put a budget together. The only thing Dave Ramsey I like about him is he's right. We need to have a budget. You need not to live without your means. You know what? You need to have that reserve that you can't ever touch. I mean, and that doesn't mean, oh, geez, it's been 6 months since I've had a vacation and I really need a weekend away. I'll take it from the emergency money and I'll go take a weekend away. Well, no. You literally don't touch that. I know some families that have put a guardian in place that money can only be signed out by two names, you and that guardian. And the guardian has been instructed that doesn't get touched unless it's an emergency.
What happens if the guardian dies?
There's a guardian in latum or whatever you call that. There's a backup for that.
There's a guardian in waiting.
In waiting. I want to be
waiting.
a guardian of your money. Thank you. But but it all comes back down to these. To me, all the credit bureaus, and I know how the hell we got down this path, but all these card companies shouldn't be selling. They shouldn't be marketing. Their job is to protect your credit. That's their job.
Yep.
Period. And they don't even do that.
Everything. Yeah. I got a phone call the other day from Haib telling me that the Social Security Administration was going to, come and arrest me. So, but as he's sitting there, I'm playing along with him, oh my God, you for real? They're going to come and get me? Because the more time I waste of theirs, the less likely they're going to hit a sucker, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to play along with them, plus I like screwing with them. So, but I was amazed.
My buddy does that. He just loves.
I was amazed at how much information of mine he had. And he actually had the last 4 digits of my Social Security number.
The last 4 digits are easy to find.
Yeah. But
you can find that out on the internet just by doing a Google search.
It's amazing that he had the address, the last 4 digits of my Social Security number, my birth date, all this information that we don't realize as average.
You have a Facebook account?
Yeah.
Then I have your birthday.
You have my birthday, yes.
Perfect.
Now your phone number.
That's what people don't realize.
Your
that's
address.
What I'm getting at. These people don't realize how much information they're giving away.
Giving it like, oh, here, please take it.
Yeah.
Credit card. I can get your credit. I can get the last 4 digits of your credit card all damn day long.
Yep.
With your Social Security number ends in blah blah blah, and this is your last 4 digits. I'm gonna send you a new invoice because it didn't go through. Please pay this invoice. That's the new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're kidding me? It didn't get paid? Nope. Okay. Then they send an invoice that gets paid. And next thing you know, they're wiping their money out because they've given them all the credit
one that
card
business owners need to be aware of, and this is a huge one right now. I have some properties because we do apartment complexes. We do their websites and we handle all their managed marketing and everything. And I've had probably 6 of them in the last 2 weeks call me and say, "Hey, I thought you paid this," and I was like, "Yeah, we do. We take care of that bill for you." Well, I got this letter saying that we need to pay $59.95 for our URL.
Right.
And it's, and it's not like the old ones, you know what I mean? It was not like the old domain services ones. Yeah. It was literally, it looked as if it came from, the place, and it was basically a company that's just, they're taking advantage of business owners.
Yep.
I'm like, we renewed yours like last month.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, if it doesn't come from us, do not pay it. So it's very important as a business owner, who you bought your stuff through. So if you have a hosting platform, you have a URL, you have an SSL certificate, those type things, you need to know the name of the companies and the payee, not just the name, but the payee, because some of these companies are owned by other companies that use their merchant services through the parent company. So it might be like Plaque Incorporated owns XYZ SSL certificate, brand. So you have to know that, because if not, you're going to get a letter from these people and you're going to stupidly pay it, and now they got your credit card information, and that guy's going shopping on you.
Right.
So, yeah, be careful. I always tell people, like, if you don't know the name of the business on it, I get sometimes, because we have so many softwares now that, and they get bought out by other companies. I'll see in the billing, whenever they send me my report, I'm looking at it and I'm like, who is this company?
Right.
And I'll literally stop and I'll call and I'll find out, or I'll do a search online to make sure that company owns something that we have. If they don't, I'm gonna take and get my money back.
Right.
Because until you prove to me that you own one of the softwares that I bought, so.
So, okay, let's jump on a new topic here. I was going to talk about, and now that Adam's here, what is that little computer that we were talking about the other day in your shop?
Oh, an Intel Nuke.
The Nuke.
NUC.
I got one of those on my desk.
Those are phenomenal.
Yeah.
How's it work for you?
Oh, I'm running Premiere and everything from it.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. It's an i7. It is a monster.
Yeah,
It's a monster packed, and no lie, mine is this big.
Right.
I have a Lightning out. I have the USB-C 3 out. I have the new, what's that new, the small square monitor out on it.
There's display port.
Yeah, the display
micro
ports,
display.
micro displays. It has the regular HDMI outs.
So
it has
$950
everything.
for the i7.
They're not that expensive at all.
No, I mean you can get an i3 for like
Now,
$400.
the only crutch
Uh-oh.
is
Knew there was
what
gonna be
me
a
and you
crutch.
talked about
Right.
a million times. I can't put a capture card in because I don't have a external spot for it. I have to go with an external piece for it.
But how does it drive the monitor?
I have
HDMI?
Sometimes I have 3 of them hooked up. So I have 2 HDMIs, and then I have the micro display port going.
Okay.
And I haven't seen it flutter once. Now, she will ramp up when I'm running Premiere, right? Whenever I'm doing that, or After Effects, you can hear her starting to grind. And if I have too many things open, she'll grind a little bit, but I have not had it fail
Don't
yet.
forget, we have external video card docks.
Yes, they
now.
do.
And now
Right.
USB 3.0 has the capability to be not 3.0 but C.
Yep.
Has the capability, enough bandwidth to support it.
It does have a STATA on the back of it, too.
Does it?
So you could run STATA through it. So that's really cool.
To me, I want to. I'm thinking about it because one of our places we go to eat all the time. We ask him if we put a 32-inch in here, would you put it on? And I want to find a way to capture the show so they can watch the show.
Yeah, but that's going to be a powerful machine to be putting in.
Yeah, I mean
there.
you can get the
Well, you don't.
you can get the
no, but I
Celeron
mean, I can
units
get
and stuff
the.
like
I
that.
can get the. I'm looking right now. I can get an Intel Nuke 8 home mini PC with Windows 10, Intel Core i5, gunmetal, blah blah blah, for $100.
Yeah.
$100. TV will cost me $150. That thing will cost me $100, and get them a wireless keyboard and mouse. Boom, set it up there. You can mount that thing on the back of the TV, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's used, I mean, I'm pretty sure Adam can probably make it work right, or Adam can probably build something even better.
There's
This one's like the one I have.
Even Gigabyte. There's a bunch of different companies that make.
And all you,
OEMs.
because all you want is something, and then boom, there's a guy that can turn on WeBeam TV every single day and watch everything we do.
Use a Raspberry
Okay,
Pi.
look up. You want to see a small computer? Look up a VO Core 2 Mini Linux computer.
VO Core 2.
Yeah.
Don't you love the way we do things here? We're
The
so
ultimate. Look at see where it says. Okay.
This one?
Well, even the one that says on Social Stack.
coin size Linux.
Holy sh!
There you go. It's as big as a LAN port. That's as big as it
Yeah.
is.
Is that the VO Core coin size Linux computer?
Yes.
So how much of a beast is it? It
Oh
can't
my
be a beast
God.
at all.
But it gives you
$42.
yeah, it's
But what will it do?
whatever you want it to do.
So
So
can
you
it?
have a USB out. You have is that a micro USB-C? So where's the display out? You would use USB for the display out?
USB.
Well, let's see if you can run Linux on it. You can SSH into it, or remote.
Well, they
desktop.
have a V Core 2 screen.
They have a
little mini screen.
And
That's funny.
Snazzy. But just think how small things are
Right.
starting to go.
Yeah.
I mean, there you got a
Okay,
whole
so
function.
the other day, this is so funny. I'm sitting here. We did an event Saturday called Ethertopia Corsets and Cogs, and really good event. I mean, a really, really good event. I'm not that I'm going to show on this, but so one of the guys that was in the event was all dressed up, and he walked out and he was talking to his watch, and all my brain said is Dick Tracy.
Yep.
There's Dick Tracy. We are in the world of Dick Tracy now because we can talk to our watches.
That's right.
That was so funny.
But
So-
but see, we all talk about this, how great it is, but then you find out that in the background, everybody's listening in on us.
Well,
And then you got
brother,
these
they've been
coders-
listening to us since we had telephones.
But the problem is, these companies are using third-party data entry people
Yep.
to listen to recordings, verify whether or not the output was proper, and then they're going in there and changing code so that way they can, or updating information to try to get it better and better and better.
Yep.
So it's not really. Look, I was talking to my computer back on Windows Millennium Edition. Okay. I had X10 devices that were able to turn lights on and off in my house.
right.
I could pick up a phone in my house and talk to my computer. The minute I had a dial tone, I hit pound and my computer would say yes. And I'd say turn off the porch light and it would do it. And it said I have turned off the porch light. So this stuff's been around, but
Yep.
it may seem like it's all futuristic and stuff. When you find out that you got these people listening in on you and they're over there typing away, all they're doing is updating. They just got a lot of money to pay a whole bunch of people to update it, and it's all being controlled still by regular humans who can make mistakes. And that's the weakest link.
Yeah. Whenever I hang up the phone with talking to somebody now, I always say goodbye to the person. And the guy listening, thanks for listening and helping us with our better computers. And I just hang up because that person's listening.
Yeah.
It's just a thing now.
Thank you for calling.
Thanks for hey, and we should start going. Hey, you got an opinion on this? I know you can listen, so it means you can talk back.
And then you hear someone whisper in the background.
Yes, I do. I'll call you later.
I have a lot of opinions, but Intel's listening right now.
But go back to this Intel nuke. I mean, what a great way to. I mean, that's because it's a full-fledged. It's a real honest to God. Because not everybody knows Linux. So if you don't know Linux,
Yeah.
it'll eat your lunch in a heartbeat. But so you get something like this. This is a perfect way to push some digital signage into.
And there's actually digital signage boxes that
I know the black box, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Digital signage. Back in the day, I figured it out because I used to sell it. I was selling this in the early 2000s. It was. I mean, that's when it was a pain in the ass to have digital signage.
We were doing the touchscreens on the Windows back then.
You put the operating system on all of them. You run a VPN. You put a shared folder on every single one, and you drop the content from your main computer to every single.
That's
drop,
all we did.
And bam, there you go.
Or even keep it simpler than that. Just go and put it. If there's Wi-Fi in the building, it's a. At the end of the day,
it's a
website.
It
is a website.
It's a website.
Whenever I said
That's what
to
we were doing
3M
for
when they were
years.
building Vicuity, which is Vicuity is what's in your phone now.
Right.
Back when we were doing that, and everybody was having a problem with writing. Well, how do we take the touch thing? I'm like, are you that stupid? It's a damn mouse. And they looked at me like, you got people that had doctor's degrees and PhDs that looked at me and said, oh my, and I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? It's a damn mouse and it's a web page. Freaking figure it out. And you would have thought that we cured cancer.
Right.
Well,
Our first,
people just over.
we were selling. We were back in the day. It was it's before the black box came out. It was just, oh my God, it was just some god awful. And then we were building websites layouts according to screen size, whether it was vertical, horizontal, whatever. And the software was just populating the website. So my brother and I said, well, why are we selling this crap when all we have to do is build a website? And then in the website, every module is a size. So you know what the module size is. So on a Photoshop template, we had
build it out.
We had okay. So this module's got to go here. We go build it. We upload it. It overwrites it immediately.
Yep.
It's immediate. I mean, it's immediate. Other than you have to. We had to go in and set everything to refresh every 3 hours. So if you updated it, it would refresh it. Because if not, it'd have to refresh the next day. Yeah.
And now most of your browsers they refresh every 3 to 4 minutes on their own.
Yeah.
So nowadays it's not even. But literally, when we were putting Vacuity on the windows with the touch, using projectors, we got to the point to where when NEC came out, and it was like the biggest thing at CES, NEC comes out, well, oh, now we can take a camera and we can interact with you.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for like 5 years. Y'all need to jump up your game. But it was the biggest thing ever. But we were actually doing it to where there was a company I was working with, and they were actually out of Land O'Lakes. And this company, this kid, he was a kid, literally, came up with an algorithm that would literally take the camera shot, and this was back in the early, I would say, late 90s, early 2000s. He would take that video and put you into the screen as a cartoon.
Nice.
And everywhere you moved, it was a little bit of lag, but it moved with you. As you walked across the front of the building, it walked with you.
Yeah, that's like there's digital signage that it's on Facebook where these people walk up to the window and it shows them as a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Now, all it is it's just there's an internal software that sees the person, they get as close as they can.
Facial recognition.
And then they put the same clothes on them.
When we
it's not hard. It's just it's money.
Yeah.
That's big money.
When we were working on the technology for the nursing homes with the Bluetooth technology to monitor the patients and be able to take their heart rates and everything, I had flown out to Washington and met with a company, and they were, to me, leading the way in facial technology on the consumer side. They literally could take and follow you through a building just by the facial recognition.
Right.
And each camera, it would hand it off, camera to camera to camera, as you walk through. We were talking about integration with them to take, and basically if a patient fell, that the system was smart enough to be able to take our signal, know that they fell, and make sure that that's that patient, right? So that it wasn't the wrong, being on the wrong person or whatever. But also to give you live footage from every camera that could possibly catch that person. So now doctors and nurses could literally show up to help them, knowing if they're unconscious, if they have a contusion, are they trying to get up, are they down, what's the heart rates, everything, right? So, and the technology's there. Like this, it's crazy where with video and with algorithms where we are, and facial recognition, and you don't think that they're doing it. Come on, Walmart does it every time you walk in the door.
Oh, hell yeah.
Every casino in the country does. I remember walking in with Sean at Bay St. Louis, and they knew our names before we walked. As soon as we walked in, Mr. Morley, here's your room keys and here's your bags, and I'm like, how the hell do they know?
Profile.
Yep. Well, I mean, okay, so back in 2000, probably 98. 99. I had a different company. We were working down in Clearwater, and we had to walk all the way around the building of the Fort Harrison Hotel, and that's that is Scientologist world.
Yeah.
So, but we were told an interest. So we walked around twice because we weren't paying attention to what we were doing, and we walked by the entrance where we need to go in twice. So eventually we walked into the hotel lobby. They come up to me and go, well, we've noticed you've walked around 3 times. So we need to know, are you lost?
We are
And I'm like, yeah, we're looking for the door because this is when they were still allowing outside contractors to work on locations and stuff like that. And so, yeah, they walked us around, but they were using facial recognition back then.
They were trying to recruit you.
Yeah, I'm the wrong guy to try to recruit. I'm not waiting for the mothership. I am the mothership. You've taken my people, and I'm pissed. Yeah. So those little nukes are absolutely phenomenal. So if you're looking to do digital signage, to me, this is the cheapest way to get into it. I mean, you're looking. I can see right here. There's a bare bones. What's a Celeron? But it doesn't matter. It's all web based. It's $154.
Well, if that's the case, why don't you just get the little stick PCs?
Because they burn. They heat up. They can't handle the heat.
Oh,
That's the problem. Day after day after day after day after day. It's just like a USB drive.
Right.
People will come to me and go, I bought this 4 months ago, but I use it all the time, and it's 128 gig, and they're, how cool it is. Well, after a while, those burn up.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Especially if you leave them plugged in.
right. You're not, see, no one ever tells you, don't leave that plugged in. And by the way, make sure you delete it and clean it. And I reformat mine probably every 2 weeks.
You know that you can use them to boost your computer's
Yeah.
memory,
Well, there's
right?
a whole thing on Facebook about that.
Yeah, that's
but-
why I used to leave them plugged in all the time, and they would just burn out because, we were overworking them.
Oh, we get some. We have a couple now that we keep just in case we have to have something.
Are you talking about the regular thumb drives, or are you
Yeah.
talking about what I was talking about?
No, what you're talking about. I'll get to
Yeah,
that.
Intel
The little
sticks.
little thumb drives. A 2 gig file, 4 gig file, 80 minutes to transfer. We're like, it's that one shot, just throw it away. But we keep it just in case. But the little thumb drive computers, the problem that everybody's ever had with them is if you use them on a daily basis, and I mean every single day, and digital signage it never turns off. It's always got heat going to it. They burn
Yeah.
up. They burn up quickly. So
Yeah, the Intel compute sticks.
yeah.
Yeah. There's like the Atom Z8 350.
No, they got the Intel Core M3s.
They
now.
do?
Yeah.
But the Nukes have got a little bit of a cooling fan in them,
Oh,
so
there it is,
they
right there.
they can keep a little bit cooler. Because you got to remember, if you're using on the back of a TV, not only are you getting the computer heat, but now you're getting the TV heat.
especially coming through that HDMI port.
Yeah,
You know.
that's
This
a
is a-
lot of that's power and heat and
Yeah.
And that's all. You're only getting 5 amps. So,
with 5 amps for 24 hours a day.
yeah, but you're getting 5 amps. How is it going to power? I mean, there becomes a threshold on computing power because you don't have enough
yeah.
power to supply to allow it to render. This
'Cause it
one
still
is
has to render out the
this one's an Ntor Core M3 6Y30
They use that
dual
same
core,
processor
900
on some
megahertz,
laptops.
4 gigs, DDR3, 64 gigs of flash memory. So it's really just a
Intel
flash
HD
drive
5,
memory.
515 graphics.
So for like
Yeah, so
600
how are they
bucks.
power in that little stick?
I mean, if you do
Just think a power supply in a computer, all it does is takes it down to 120 and divides it out to 12 volt and 5 volt. And most
Yeah.
of the system runs off the 5 volt to begin with.
5 volts to begin with, right?
Yeah, everything runs off the 5 volts. The only thing that really needs a 12 volt would be,
It's got
graphics
wireless
card.
LAN, Bluetooth, HDMI.
Yeah.
So you actually use a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard.
I have one in my bag.
So what you do is
actually.
you get a bunch of monitors, plug those in, and then you got all-in-one computers.
But the USB is powering it, not actually
Yeah.
taking the data back.
No.
No,
Right.
so you have to actually use.
So you're better off getting a little Nuke, a
Yeah.
little cheap TV, and you can have digital signage.
because this one's $308.
The Celeron version of those are like $100 and something.
Celeron still is not a very good processor, is it?
Never was, never
Yeah,
will.
never
Never meant to be. It's just supposed to
I
be.
mean, I'm
for
not
opening
saying go
email.
out and get the Intel Next unit. Have you seen that? It's got the skull on it and everything.
That's the one I
Skull.
have.
Yeah, you can get the compute
Yeah.
stick for
That's
as low as
$1,700.
Yeah,
That is a little
I got
monster.
mine for a little bit. Now, our mayor, he gets them every now and then. And he gets really good deals on them. So just.
Who's
hint, hint,
mayor?
wink,
I don't
wink.
have a mayor. I live unincorporated.
Well,
I have a
You
Oh,
governor.
the nukes.
I have a governor. I don't have a mayor.
the nukes are good. I have one. Mine wasn't that much. I mean,
No,
it was
you can get 'em.
$1,700, but I did pay that for it.
And
So-
remember, if you buy the Intel branded one, then you can always buy an OEM with.
So
Intel
while we're
and
talking about the
save
nukes,
money.
let's talk about this smart home usage.
Mhm.
Making your house. Now, see, again, you're opening yourself back up to data breach.
Of course.
Run it on a separate network in the house.
Or what? A VPN.
A VPN, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I had a-
I still, even with a VPN, I'm gonna run it on a separate on
Yeah.
a separate wireless
So
network.
I got a phone call from one of our guys that I've known for a while, and he goes, "Do you know anything about VPNs?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "Well, I need one." I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Well, I'm gonna cut the cable and everything and whole 9 yards, and I'm gonna run one of those broke boxes, but they're telling me to run through a VPN now."
Mhm.
I said, why? He goes, because they don't want to get tracked back to the IP. I said, no, they'll still be able to track that back.
Oh yeah.
Because that VPN's got to run off of your IP.
Yep.
He went,
Not if you subgate, if you what is it called? Not subrogate, but you can basically buy a round of IPs on a server, on a VPN server, and
I
use
understand
those.
that, but the
You're
originating
still
IP
calling
address
back.
will show up inside that VPN.
Depends on what country that server's located.
Yeah.
Now we start getting into.
Now you get
international
into
stuff.
you're getting in the hack world.
Yeah.
There's ways
But
to
the-
But
manage
I'll
they'll
it.
still
guarantee
find
you,
out.
they'll track that back to the
Yeah.
the source of the IPN, which is the illegal box. I'm like, dude,
But then again, is your service provider really that desperate to track back? Do they really lose?
well, it's not the service provider; it's HBO, it's Cinemax,
those, yeah.
and those kind of people that
Yeah.
are stealing their.
But in the long run, it is the service provider who is providing the internet who will ultimately
Yeah,
be
but
held responsible.
with Roku and Sling and everything today,
there's so
I mean,
much
pay
gas.
$20 and get the channels that you want and be done with it.
yeah, but you don't get the HBOs. You
You can
have
buy
to
them.
subscribe to
You
those.
can get
By the
those.
time you do all that, I did the math. We did a whole show about this. We
Yes,
did the
you
math.
already reached the same price as your regular.
It's
cable.
same price as your. I said, just get cable. Just get cable, dude.
Shh, stop that.
I know. You know, but it doesn't make
He's trying
it
to get his bill free from Spectrum this month.
I heard you.
No, I
They
heard
offered-
you were
They
speaking of-
offered to give, to give him a benefit or two if we'll stop talking
okay,
bad
so
about him.
so if you do by the numbers,
Just
right?
offer to sell Dish, and they'll give you a free one for your office.
Oh God, have mercy. 5.3%. Okay, 55 to 64-year-olds, 5.3% has made their house smart, right? And I'm doing. And this is 2019 numbers. Ages 45 to 54, 9.2%. Ages 35 to 44, 28.1%. 25 to 34, 39.6%. And here's the funny one, 18 to 24%, 17%. So the 45s and the 18s are kind of close in the numbers. But yet the 35s, the 35 to 44 and the 25 to 34s are the biggest people that are smart in their homes. So
You know what I like? I like the Samsung Smart.
you've
Things
done
hub.
it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Your house is smart.
The Smart Things Hub, I've found has got a pretty wicked integration, and combined with Alexa, it really finds pretty much everything.
Does it?
Without having to worry about, cross-platform, whether or not you're running Z-Wave, Zigbee, and every other platform across the board. I've been able to take I had like these, I got a real good deal on the Wemo light bulbs, but I think they were Z-Wave or Zigbee, I think Zigbee, and they required, in order to work, they required a wireless hub that had to plug into a wall outlet. Well, once I took the SmartThings hub and brought it into the house, I was able to take that hub out of the equation, and it could communicate directly with the light bulbs without having to have that stupid thing in there. And then Alexa was on top of that, was able to then, because it picked up the bulbs, Alexa could then pick up the different devices in the hub, and then it allowed me to create my, if I wanted to turn off all the lights in the bedroom, I can combine all the light bulbs into one, just say turn off bedroom lights, and then have it do it. I have my front porch light turns on every night at 6 o'clock in the evening, and turns back off at midnight, when I don't need it. I mean, I've changed out light switches and everything like that.
So you didn't have to rewire. All you did is went in and your pop switches and pulled them out, put the new switch in there, and,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah,
done.
you
with
don't
it.
have to run
No,
Cat 5 anymore.
and the one switch is what, $35?
Yeah, and the cool thing is if you go into like the SmartThings hub too, and you want to find out what devices are compatible with your unit and what it can talk to, they'll give you the exact devices and give you all the different brands. They don't care what you use. It's all open source on their end.
So Smart Things Hub, $65.
Yeah. Oh, and the older one had a battery backup, so like if you wanted to keep all your stuff together, you just pop some AA batteries in it. When the system goes down, everything's still up.
Yeah.
And that's the average. Now
Now,
there's
turn my Samsung TV on. Well, my TV, I have a 65-inch curved. The problem with it, if I have it hardwired to the LAN, it'll turn it on and off. But for some reason, the Wi-Fi, when the TV's off, it doesn't have a low power mode, so it can't detect it when it's off to turn it back on. But I can tell Alexa to turn my TV off, and it'll turn my TV off automatically for me.
Alexa will turn my box off. It won't turn the because I don't have a smart TV. That my last holdout is one in my bedroom, and it's such a good picture that I don't want to let it go. And it's got powerful speakers on it. The new TVs today, the speakers on them are crap.
Yeah.
Because they want you to buy the box. They want you to buy the bar.
Listen to this. I have one of the Samsung smart speakers too that they made for when they were doing that. They were trying to play with Bose and stuff. So now you can get a real low cost price. The R1s, I think. I was able to even tie that in to the Smart Hub Home, and using the iris sensors from Lowe's on the doors. As the door opens, I could have the whole house announce, welcome home, or whatever you wanted to do.
No way.
Yeah, or you could play, different music. And like right now, if somebody rings my Ring doorbell, all the Alexas in the house start going off, along with my regular doorbell. And then Alexa announces that somebody's at the door. And you could even change, like, say, for instance, it's Halloween, you could change those settings too.
Whoa.
Yeah,
You know what I don't like about my Ring is because of where my doorbell was. We have a column, a pillar that blocks the view, so I had to mount it here. It's no fault but mine of being lazy. The damn battery dies, and it takes us 2 to 3 months to realize it, to go out there and take it off and charge the damn
all the
thing.
lights you didn't have the power for?
No, because where the doorbell isn't by the door. It's actually on this wall. It's stupid how they did it, but there's a big pillar there, so all you would get is the look of the pillar. Whenever it's
Pretty
put
pillar,
there.
though, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty pillar, but no one's going to see it to push the button.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a smart TV, you could actually do a smart switch, right? You can just turn the power off, and the TV goes off.
Yeah,
turn
we
the
have
power,
those on
TV
a
goes
lot of
on.
lights in the house, and when we go to bed, we'll say, Alexa, turn off the light in the bedroom. And
That's probably where I'm going to go. I don't care.
If you have screw-in light bulbs, you can get the
Philips
Zigbee
Hues and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can get the Philip Hue, or the Wemos are the cheapest ones because they're made by Belkin.
Okay.
And they kind of really,
How much do those run?
the bulbs, you can get the bulb kit now probably for like $12 or something for two
Right.
bulbs and stuff.
You can get the little outlet pieces, the little square ones to plug in, and then you plug the wires into
Yeah.
for like $5 or $6 a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
just
that's
watch,
me.
just
The
and
good thing
and that
about
work,
using
and that
those,
works with the Smart Things hub.
Yeah, and then the cool thing is like the Iris platform, the Iris 2s, which Lowe's has kind of got. I think they're getting away from that whole Iris platform, but they have temperature sensors in them too. So I used to have it announced like back door open, back door close, back door open, back door close,
Oh,
and it can
God.
you can put it on any door you
Right.
want, any window, and it'll tell temperature for you. You can get motion sensors. You can get some of the Iris, like they have a water sensor. So if your hot water heater blows up and floods your garage,
Next
it'll tell
door
you.
neighbors, water goes. You see water in in your studio. It says, "Hey, there's water in your studio."
Yes. You're flooding. Help! Help! I'm drowning, John. John,
Yeah.
help!
The nice thing about the round plug ones that go into the plug-in is you don't have the power still being drawn.
Yeah.
With the light bulbs, it's still drawing power.
Yeah, you have to leave if you have the light
Yeah.
bulb on, you have to leave the switch on, obviously, in order
Right.
for it to work, because it's kind of
And
redundant.
now you were talking about your Smart Thing hub. Does that want things landlined, or can it do wireless?
Everything's wireless in the house, except for the hub itself, which is plugged into an Ethernet port, and everything else from that point on is wireless.
How strong is it?
Well, I got a 2-story house, and I've connection to every single sensor in the house. I've not had a problem at all through Zigbee.
Do you
and,
have yours set up to a server too?
No. It's the Smart Things is doing everything. Everything's integrated, and they have a
Because
cloud-based-
you can literally connect to a server and then run like all your video, like all your movies and your music and everything that you
Yeah, I
have
mean-
hard. You
Everything
know,
in my house is wireless.
It'll integrate with like the Arlo cameras and stuff like that. It'll pull up. You can do everything directly from that hub if you want.
and it'll record them too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's where the server comes in because you need extra space.
He's like, I'm all loving it.
Well,
so, all
the-
right.
The Arlo has a USB plug on the side, so you can plug in a storage device too for offline recording.
Our wash machine and dryer have it too, to where it's connects in.
Oh, so you can get a smart get a Smarts Things
Microwave.
starter kit
Yeah.
for like $169, and it's got 4 or 5 plugs, a couple.
The cool thing is the
Entryway
Smart Things
things.
is open source, and if you any kind of coding you want,
Right.
you can go on their platform and read the blog, and everybody just releases everything. You can have it do whatever you want.
That's cool.
Yeah. If there's something you haven't thought up, most likely they've already done it. The guys have coded it, and they release the code and let everybody play with them.
I'm trying to look at one of their kits now, and it doesn't see what I can't see. Oh,
Well, see, think of it this way, John. If you've already had some stuff that's smart in your house, the cool thing about the Smart Hub is you don't need to buy into its platform.
right.
Its platform works across all platforms.
Everybody. Well, I
So
do.
that's
I have 2 Sensi that control my ACs in the house, but we had new internet come in, and they won't work now.
The thing about it is
I can't get them onto the app or nothing.
the Smart Things Hub is the closest thing to a central server where I've always tried to find, like, Castle OS was an operating system that I needed a server software that would be able to tie in all my applications together easy.
Right.
And that has been the only thing that's really been, they're the only company that I've seen that's
Got
really
it.
got it figured out.
All right. Well, I think we got like a minute left.
Minute.
So if you got any questions for us, techshamans@webeamtv.com. If you got any questions on systems and stuff like that, call Rusty. If you need anything about computers, smart home, blah, 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 get a hold of Adam over there. And if you anything about video world, whether it comes to servers in your house, blah, 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 what's good, camera questions, send an email. But I'll send it all to techshamans@webeamtv.com, and we'll make sure everybody gets the one. With that being said, we will see everybody next. Oh, wait a minute.
Nope.
No, next Monday.
No, next Monday is Labor Day weekend. We'll play reruns.
So we won't be laboring.
We'll see you later, everybody. Check it
Bye,
out.
guys.
We got the plans cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome, yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into